In this video, we're doing a quick review of indices. So some vocabulary for indices. The number that's on the bottom, we call it the base, and the power that it's taken to, we call it the power or index. And when we're dealing with numbers that has powers, if we were to multiply, as long as they're the same base and they have powers on top, if we're multiplying them together, we end up adding them. If we're dividing them together, we end up minusing them. If one is inside the bracket and it's raised to another power outside of the bracket, then these two powers end up being multiplied together. And if there's a power outside and there's a couple of numbers inside the bracket, the power goes to every number that's inside. Same if it was a fraction, these numbers both get the power that's on the outside of the bracket. And additionally, we have some other rules where if anything is raised to the power of 0, it doesn't matter what the base is, it could be 100, could be a 10, it's always going to equal to 1. And anything to the negative power is going to be 1 over that, but in a positive power. And finally, if we are raised to a negative power but there's a fraction inside, if you swap it upside down and raise it to the positive power of that, it's going to end up the same. So I'll go over a couple of examples here. Make sure you have a go at all of the examples and come back to this page to check your answers. This is one that I wanted to go over. So with this one, make sure that the numbers act like, they are just numbers. So this will be 12, and the ones with the power act like if they were not numbers, so it'll end up being something like that. Same for B as well, so 2 minus 1, so you end up with 12AB. This example here, I think often we see a power and then forget to give it to the 2 that's in front. We only do it with the M, but you give it to the 2 in front, it becomes 2 to the power of 3. This because it becomes M to the power of 6. Same for the 3 going here as well as here. And like I said before, if we have a fraction that's raised to the power of negative something, if you swap it upside down and then raise it to the positive power of that, it's going to end up the same. And lastly, when we look at something like this, often we see the power of 0 and we think, oh, okay, this is going to equal to 1. But one thing we need to realize is that it's same as saying 5 times a to the power of 0. So it's actually 5 times 1, which equals 5.